Turtlebox. These guys, I've seen them fight a few times, you know, over my span as a commentator, but it's always a different matchup because Fullstream keeps changing his character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't go more than 2 tournaments without switching. But his clan has been doing some work this tournament.
Yeah, actually, like, the thing that was impressive, I remember we were talking earlier about his set against Damn Danny. That could have potentially gone either way because Danny's had so much Claren experience, but even with that, Fullstream was able to overcome that with a 3-0 victory.
And Fullstream has just such a great neutral game, such good fundamentals. There's no doubt in my mind that he can play any character in this game to perfect. Oh my goodness!
And that's what we're talking about.
Compliment you.
He wants you to mean it, man. He wants you to put your emphasis in it, because that's ultimately what makes Fullstream a strong player, is that he plays his opponent, right? It's not just about playing his own character. He just identifies where his opponent is weak and just figures out his simplest tools to go ahead and exploit that. And that's something like you can do with any character.
And it's nuts. People will say that when he played Rano, for example, he maybe didn't do all the fancy stuff that Danger, some of the more Rano mains would do.
Yeah.
But he would still place phenomenally with the character because he just had that understanding of the game.
Right, and like we see similar things with his Claren too, where like his recognition of just how to get in on his opponent time and time again. Like, he might not have the absolute optimal follow-ups, but at the end of the day, a neutral game is even more powerful than that. Already finding himself another pair. Is he going to take the next stock? He does!
Turtlebox throw out these down Bs, these down Bs, just trying to kind of create some space. But Fullstream was either jumped over them every time, or in that one instance decided to parry it.
Because it's so intimidating finding a Claren when she has this much disjoint that it makes sense that your go-to move is just, well, what do I have with even more disjoint? But then Fullstream's already ready to play around it.
And she has stage control, and he has not lost stage control this game. And this could be. That was actually really lucky.
I mean, he still took 100%, and we're saying really lucky, right?
It's scary. Fullstream just has his number right now. And I know this is not an easy matchup for Claren, from what I understand. But I've also heard Craig say it's not too easy either.
Yeah.
So it's probably a pretty even or close match.
There you go, T-Box. Almost reclaimed center stage. Fantastic DI, though. Doesn't end up dying there. But there on the tech chase,
yikes, man.
Fullstream picks it up right again with a 3-stock.
That was definitely a way to start the set.
Wow.
Box, you really need to evaluate what you were getting hit by. Not landing, throwing out these down Bs in neutral, either getting parried or getting jumped over and hit. So you're going to probably want to slow down on those. The Claren jumped in a lot at you, so maybe think of that. Maybe do a lot of like wave dash backs. Micro spacing is super important in this matchup because you really don't have too much space to work with, but you can still whiff punish as a slower character.
Yeah. Now this stage pick is actually kind of interesting because it's similar to Tower of Heaven, except of course it has much larger blast zones, and the arrangement of the platforms might actually help Turtlebox mix up his recovery a little bit more because you have that overhang over the end.
A little option to land on. That being said, I compare the stage to Spirit Tree for Claren.
Yeah.
Where those platforms help her out a lot too.
Yeah, it's we'll have to see how it plays out. Oh! T-Box actually go, because we've been seeing MSB go for that a whole bunch lately, so it's funny to see T-Box going for the same thing, but he picks up that kill right afterwards with the up strong. So far, already looking a lot better, a lot more comfortable on the stage. I think a part of that is, like you said, just that reassessment of how am I being opened up right now. You know, I need to look for more options than just the down special.
Now we're trying to just touch the stage, and this could be really tricky here. Oh, I don't know if that second side was intended.
He makes it back up.
Cheeky.
That was, I mean, it was clever because he teched off the side of the wall and went up with that tech, so that actually helped him recover.
You know, that was a good moment to point something out that I don't know if many Rivals players know of. When you're, let's say there's a Crag on a pillar against the wall, when you parry, for the next 20 frames, if you look at parry, let's say, next 20 frames, you can't tech, right? So if a Crag parries on pillar up against the wall, and you hit the Crag into the wall, you can't tech it. And that's a really big thing. So if you can bait a parry out of the Crag, that's a free hit into the wall and stage play.
Oh yeah, and then he doesn't even have the pillar then to recover when he's off to the side.
And that's just a really scary thing, and yeah, it makes it a little tricky for Crag to recover sometimes. So,
Fullstream does even it up.
Fullstream is going to get that stock, but nice lead from Turtlebox.
I'm noticing that Turtlebox is actually trying to use that higher ground to... I think what he's hoping to do is just start intimidating Fullstream into doing weird options when he's directly below him, and then capitalizing on that with like a drop down instead.
I like that option because Claren's kit doesn't really... I think she has up there, she has up smash, and up tilt. But up tilt's the slowest move out of her tilts, and Ty has the most whip lag. Up air is a great spacing tool, but it's kind of trickier to land than some of her grounded normals, right?
Yeah.
And if a Claren forced to jump into the air, she's a weaker character. She has less options if she's above you, right?
Yeah.
So if you can bait her onto those platforms with you and drop through, you're taking advantage safely. And that's nice.
hitting himself a boulder, not going to be able to get much more out of it. Fullstream, once again, finding a couple hits. We're not seeing the extended sort of edge guards we were seeing last game either.
Ooh,
that was so smart, actually. Just mixing up exactly where the parries then would take place to make Fullstream not have the full punish.
And that's actually a tricky bit of tech. That's right when you get to the edge, turning around, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you get that instant turnaround, and he used it. He used it really well there. Craig is such an interesting character. He has like surprising amount of advanced tech for the type of character he is, you know?
Because he feels like he should be the most Unga Bunga character, because he's like actually like a caveman, but there's a lot of subtlety here.
You have like break canceling, and you have like those instant turnarounds.
He has a pilot's license. This character can fly.
This man went to college. Oh! Not going to get a kill because he's on Big Blast Zone. That fair will do.
That was a trap. That was a really nice trap. Just I'll throw the boulder, and I can just react to the air dodge and hit you with the forward air. Because, correct me if I'm wrong here, but down special does have a lot more startup than an air dodge, right? So you wouldn't be able to pull it out immediately and react.
Like frame 8 or so or something like that.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty late compared to a parry or an air dodge, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely isn't too safe to throw out, so air dodge is just smarter there, right?
Yeah. But that's what gets you killed by the forward air right afterwards. Yeah.
There's a Sandori.
Now it is Fullstream's turn, though, to pick. We have the bands out, and I assume... is DSR going to be on for Tower of Heaven, though? That's what I'm curious about. I don't think...
No, they don't count as the same stage yet. It's not like Smash 4.
No, I meant in terms of because Fullstream won there. I'm wondering whether or not T-Box will say, yeah, no Tower of Heaven.
I can see that.
Okay, yeah. He's going to go ahead and say that.
That's worth it. I mean, he didn't do bad on the alternative Tower of Heaven, for lack of a better term, right? But it definitely did not go good for him on Tower. That was a 3-star game. This is a stage that I've heard from Dinos, SBS, QX, and a few other ones as a really good stage for Clan. They love the pseudo FD and the one platform there. So we'll see how this goes then.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Because having to fight Claren without any sort of recourse to like go above and force her into the air.
Which what we did in the last game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. And this one platform, like honestly, it could just end up helping the recoveries and edge guards just as well, similar to Smashville and the Smash games.
It's really funny. When I see the stage, I think it's so much bigger than it is. This is a really tiny stage.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's banned in doubles because it's just too small.
The only the same banned doubles.
Unfortunate T-Box caught holding his rock and isn't able to get rid of it in time to recover, and he's just gonna end up losing that stock.
Do not want to be caught.
Oh no, this is terrible. Like he actually just can't get out. Okay, Fullstream misses one of the grabs. Finally, T-Box is able to unload that cargo. But
that's such a scary thing when you pull rock, man.
Yeah.
It's a commitment.
It really is. If the opponent is like baiting you to pull it out, they can just leap in, and when you're holding that rock, right, you can't dodge, you can't tech, you can't do anything except throw the rock and jump.
Oh. 150%, we are going to live here.
Oh, that was such a good spacing.
That was perfect.
Yeah. But of course, Fullstream not losing any of his own momentum, having already 90%. Crag's a heavy guy, but we've been seeing these stocks fly off the shelves at like 130%. So already that's I like that.
Smart, but he had a pillar. I didn't even notice he had a pillar. So.
I think Fullstream was remembering that the pillar was right below that spiking location. It's like, well, it's gonna save him anyway. Might as well send him out.
Send him out stage, make him burn a pillar, right?
Yeah.
That's super smart. Oh, up air from across the map.
So clean. T-Box taking a little bit to compose himself on that platform.
Oh. So these pillars are smart. He's trying to force a high ground scenario, but pillar can be beaten by so many disjointed moves now. It's just kind of, it leaves you vulnerable.
Oh my gosh, and that just absolute abuse. The moment he didn't get to touch the ground after the pillar. Like T-Box, not T-Box, Fullstream broke the pillar and then just kept T-Box off stage like the entire time.
He debated on switching off of Crag.
I know. Like there was a time
for a second.
Yeah, there was a time that he was working on a Sylvanos, or Sylvanos, as it's called in Arizona apparently. And I do know that for the most part though, Crag through and through. Gonna have to think very carefully. I mean, previously when he was on the same back foot situation, his adjustment immediately in the next game was palpable.
Was honestly amazing. And I can hear the AZ chant starting for Chompers MSB.
Oh, man.
And the best part is I can't tell if that's a close set or if it's... I got nothing to go off of. They'll cheer for anything. So this is a great spot to be in. Rock and down B are such strong tools against Claren off stage. But if you get predictable, it's not really going to help. Did he just throw Rock at the force field?
He threw Rock at the tower, which bounced off and hit the force field. But he just needed to get rid of the Rock because he couldn't throw it in the force field.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now that that is out, she can't make another one. That's another important thing.
Yeah,
Until that goes away. It's kind of like Lily, where it's a really good option, but once it's placed out, you kind of know where it has to be now.
And then you can like just put on the aggressive camping like on the other half of the stage. And like this pick, I was thinking about like why Blazing Hideout specifically. And I don't think it's so much for the blast zones as much as we mentioned just forcing this higher ground situation where Claren has to double jump to come at you. It's either that or aiming like just the tip of up smash through the platform.
It's definitely a spot that can force Claren in a situation that you want, right? Also, edge guarding, I feel like isn't too bad here. That platform doesn't really help Claren to recover.
Yeah.
So you can set up things like down Bs like that, or like Rock at ledge and just kind of keep her off stage. I'd like to see more of that from Turtlebox.
Yeah, just forcing that.
Yeah, just putting down B out there because he's not going to parry it. The best case scenario for him is that he's going to counter it, and you can parry her counter. And that's the special fall.
Yeah.
So your best bet really is throwing out those down Bs at ledge. It's so destructive.
Can be caught up in the air, but manages to break out. Looking closer to even, and more importantly, having a bit of a juggle situation on Fullstream as he's trying to work his way in. But T-Box makes it down to the platform. Still being forced off, and this edge guard has been a problem for Turtlebox almost every single time.
It's very scary, man. Krag's weakness as a character really does feel like his recovery.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because when you first start the game, that is definitely not the case.
Yeah, it's just like, what do you mean? He gets to make more stage.
That's so good. And then you watch people just jump off stage after him. This poor little beetle, man.
Especially when you have that all worked out, especially with a disjoint too, where you can just start threatening him without really leaving the stage too much.
So we see a lot of Rock play from them, and I love watching that from Krags.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed they do is throw Rock up and side B into it to jump out of it.
Oh, T-Box slips right through. Yeah, just above the grab, but the thing is Fullstream doesn't let off for a moment, doesn't get the spike, but
that
he does.
Such a scary confirm. If you get grabbed there, new DIN, you're getting spiked.
Yeah. I think that's part of the nice thing about Blazing Hideout is you can usually with confidence DI out because you probably won't die.
Especially this Krag.
Oh, not the tipper though. Still in here, but the back air does tipper and Fullstream does take out Turtlebox 3-1, sending him down to the loser's end.
I mean, good set.